And he was becoming so much more attractive and beautiful in that way. Right. So today is, according to American calendar, Thanksgiving. This particular holiday is not observed in every country of the world. Even in Canada next door, they have a Thanksgiving somewhere in October, beginning of October. And then here in India, we were here last year, and you were having some celebration here in South India in January, isn't it, Pongal? So very similar idea. And there are especially two questions that we should ask regarding Thanksgiving. Is what we should be thankful for, and to whom we should be thankful for. So there was one sign on a church outside. You know how they always have the Christian churches of signs, thought for the day, thought for the week. So the sign said, what if you woke up tomorrow morning, only with those things for which you had offered thanks the day before? Okay? Think about that. What if you woke up tomorrow morning only with those things? You think about all the things you have, okay? So what if you woke up tomorrow morning and you only had those things tomorrow for which you had offered thanks today? Is that a good deal?
Yes.
What do you think?
Yes.
Will that inspire us towards
Absolutely.
Thanksgiving?
Absolutely.
So some of us are thinking, I'm going to thank for all the things that I haven't had yet. And I'll wake up tomorrow morning with them. So, yes, we should be thankful. But sometimes it's a little unclear exactly what direction to direct the thanks. Some of you know this poet, Italian poet named Dante.
Yeah.
He had a longer name, but just for short, like his pen name was Dante. He wrote this famous book, Inferno. They call Dante's Inferno. Hare Krishna, please. We're going to see the cows.
Please come forward. Yeah.
So he said the worst moment for an atheist, the worst moment for an atheist. You know what atheists are? The worst moment is when a feeling of thanks springs up in their heart, but they don't know who. They have no object to thank, right? So they have some feeling of thanks, but what do? I don't believe in God. There's nobody behind it. So it's like they say the worst nightmare for an atheist. So both things are important. What we have and who to thank for. And there's one more thing too that's very important. The purpose of life is to develop pure love. Prema Pumartamahan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described. And the ultimate object of that love, the only one who will not let us down, who can reciprocate our loving exchanges to the ultimate, is the Supreme Personality of God. So we may be thankful for things, but better than things, more important than things, are knowledge. Knowledge is more important than things. Ultimately, things are not the most important things in life. Again, because that only thing that will satisfy our soul is love of Godhead. So, one who teaches us not only to be thankful for our things that we have, but gives us the knowledge to understand how to use them. And that all of those things we have only on loan. They're given to us only on loan. So I'm not just talking about all the things that you've gotten bank loans for, to buy your house, your car. Everything we think we have, including our body, is only on loan. Means that at one point, the one who owns it is going to say, okay, now give it back. So one who gives us that kind of knowledge, not only to be thankful of the things, but to understand that all these things are only just on loan, and they have a purpose that we can fulfill. With those things, we can use those things in such a way, even though they're just in loan, temporary, we can get some permanent benefit by using them in the proper way. Because ultimately, again, it's not the things that are the most important things. It's how we use them. It's the love that we can develop, we can learn how to express in the utilization of those things for a higher purpose, for the pleasure of Krishna, and for the service of all those entities who are being maintained by Krishna. This is fine. I don't mind. Okay. It's fine. So, for most of us here today, that most important person who's taught us like this, exactly where these things are coming from, what they're meant to be used for, and ultimately what is the purpose. Prem Prayojan, the ultimate purpose is to develop this love, Prem. That is Srila Prabhupada. So I wanted to read something, and I hope you pay attention just for a few minutes. I know the crunching of the cow's jaws is very attractive sound, isn't it? It's very attractive. And we were just reading yesterday how the cow is such a mother. You know, she's one of the 7 mothers, Gomata. But she's not just a mother for a calf. And she's not just a mother for the human beings. Like, you know, most of us are growing up on cow's milk. But we read yesterday how she's the mother for, what's it called? This fluke? Some river fluke?
Liver fluke.
Liver, yeah, liver fluke. Is an amoeba, a bacteria, which takes shelter in the liver of the cow, and that's where it mates and expands eggs, develops eggs, larvae, and then from there is digested, passed out of the cow dung. So many good things are coming in the cow dung. So this liver fluke is coming out, And snails like to hang around cow dung. You swallow this bacteria, and the snail has, you know how they have a shell? Hard shell? So they have that ability, manufacturing ability. Inside the stomach of the snail, a cyst forms around that larvae, or the eggs, and protects that living entity, that fluke bacteria. And then after a while, it goes from there, passed out from the snail, in this cyst form, which is protecting it. It's protecting it such that when it's passed out, the ant eats. And so many larvae are coming in the cyst, and the ant, so many ants are eating. But for some reason, one particular ant is doing some very un-ant-like activities. Because this larvae, this fluke, somehow or another, it learns when it's within the body of the ant, it starts to mess around with its nervous system. It performs some surgical operation, and it crosses some wires there, some nerves. And the ant starts doing some very weird things. Most notably is that ant, when all the other ants are going for sleep at night, snug as a bug, they say, this one ant goes with the larvae in its belly or in its system, which has crossed some wires in its nervous system, and it just crawls up to the big top of the grass in a pasture where the cows are. And the cows will come and they're eating the grass. And they're eating, and then they eat this. And then that larvae, the eggs, goes into the belly of the cow, into the liver, and that's where they mate and regenerate the whole cycle again. So that one living entity is going through 3 different environments in order for it to be able to pregnate, regenerate, and carry on its species. So in that way, the cow, who knows how many kinds of living entities it's giving mothership to and shelter to. So selfless. So Srila Prabhupada, I personally grew on a farm up in Canada, Alberta. And we had half a dozen cows. And we used to take the milk. I used to milk when I was a kid. And I used to herd the cows maybe a mile away and come back and bring them back at the end of the day. Of course, I didn't know Krishna at that point. And I had no idea that there's something relishable and respectable and worshipable about being a cowherd. So I remember, though we used to slaughter hogs, chickens, like that, we never killed the cows. My father would not kill it. Too much attachment, you know? Too much communication there, too much connection, too much advanced soul there. So he couldn't kill the cow. We used to send them somewhere. But I had no idea how valuable the cow is, and how humble and mother-like and worshipable, and how valuable just for our economy in all traditional cultures. And even when I came to Krishna Consciousness Movement, I was reading Prabhupada's books, but it didn't dawn on me. Over and over again he's saying these things, but it didn't dawn on me until many of you know the story. I passed some large dairy farm by Yuma, and I saw tens of thousands in the hot sun, and some of them were taking shelter underneath the tin roof, and they had no grass, nothing, just dirt. And it just dawned on me that this is not the way to live. This is not the way to treat the cow. And I thought that I'm going to the store and buying the milk, and I'm the cause, one of the causes of the way these cows are being treated. So then from that day on, we started to make some research and, put some programs together, and some of you were there when we gave the program, and Dr. Mishra really took it to heart and started to